I'm B2C.
Right.
I don't need another law firm in Tampa. I need injured people in New Orleans. You're injured, you know. That's my consumer.
Yeah, it makes sense.
B2B is easy. I watch these videos about B2B all the time, and I laugh at them. They're like, well, if you're doing this, you're doing that. And I'm thinking, everybody knows what I want, right? So I'm the ultimate consumer for B2B, right? And everybody knows anything. Google me, and you'll know exactly who I am. You can find out where I live.
Don't look up his address.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
leave him alone.
Leave me alone. Welcome to Above the Legal Limit. I'm your host, Justin Chopin, business owner, lawyer, dad, world's best husband, traveler, and adventure seeker. On this podcast, we mix business with pleasure. We'll dive into growth strategies, entrepreneurial adventures, the business of law, and prove that business isn't boring. So let's get ready because we are going above the legal limit. Welcome to another episode of Bug the Legal Limit. This is how the sausage is made. This is back house, you know, behind the scenes, as it were. I have with me Will Brooks of LeDuc Entertainment. What's the cheer? Where's the clapping button?
Oh, I don't need it. I'm good.
The clapping button?
People are applauding at home. It's all good. Yeah, it's how the sausage is made.
This is it. How do we do it? So you're with LeDuc.
Yes. And
everybody knows, nobody knows this. This is the secret. LeDuc is who produces this podcast. They tell me where to sit, where to stand, and what to say. And this is I'm not even real. I'm like a fucking robot. And Will, you're the one that he goes into ChatGPT to come up with bullshit responses for me, like these questions. They're like, if you've been in an accident, what's the first thing you should do?
Make me nervous. I have used ChatGPT. I don't always use ChatGPT.
I know you've used ChatGPT.
Yes, I freely admit it, but it's not an ever. We try not to use it all the time. We want to have good organic stuff for you to talk about. So, it's a mix.
So, you are not from New Orleans.
No.
Where are you from?
Atlanta.
You're from Atlanta.
Yes.
And you live there.
Yes.
On purpose.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
All right.
What's wrong with Atlanta?
Well, actually, so people from New Orleans, we like to talk shit about Atlanta.
I know. I hear it all the time.
You guys are tacky. You're new money. I don't know.
There's some old money in Atlanta, believe me.
Well, but so that's the New Orleans. Everyone's like, Atlanta. But then, your football team sucks. And so
you're going to bring up 28. I hear that all the time.
We take great pleasure in
our pain,
thinking about Atlanta being horrible. But I got to tell you, so I'm part of a marketing company there, and I go out there every quarter and I meet with them and we talk about things, marketing things or business things. And I was pleasantly surprised with how nice Atlanta was.
It's a great town.
You guys have some hills.
Mm-hmm.
I was really shocked by that.
It's not flat. There's
this
trees
isn't
everywhere.
Flat at all. I was saying that to my director. I was like, "There's trees," and then she used a term that I was unaware of. She's like, "The canopy cover in Atlanta." I was like, "The canopy cover," and then I was like, "You're right," because it's not really we have trees here, not as many after Katrina now, but we still have some. Every year it's a few less. I think that. What do you do when your tree is we mostly have 300-year-old trees. You can't really replenish 300-year-old trees.
We got to start somewhere. So
right. I mean, so after Katrina, the big thing was it was just New Orleans was 20 degrees hotter
because all the trees
brighter.
were gone.
All the trees were gone. St. Charles Avenue lost 1 million trees. And so a lot of those old oaks were wiped out, and so it's just so much brighter here all the time. But Atlanta has canopy cover in a very positive way. Not downtown, but where I was.
The metro Atlanta area is massive. Where do you the conference that you go to? Where
it is?
It's not in Atlanta proper, is it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's technically Buckhead, or if it's Midtown.
Buckhead, it's probably Midtown. I think it is Midtown. No, it's Buckhead because I met somebody down there that was. I know of what you're talking about. What you're going there for. It's in Buckhead.
Yeah. And there's nice houses,
Buckhead's
and they're
beautiful.
On hills. Yeah. With canopy cover.
Buckhead's out of my price range, but it's a nice place.
It looks like it's out of my price range too.
It's a real bougie place, but the food.
Everybody has a cold plunge.
Yeah,
it comes standard in every house.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, it's great though. Atlanta's beautiful and then great neighborhoods, and lived in that area my whole life. So
how often do you come to New Orleans?
I'm here every 2 or 3 months because of LeDuc. It's based here, so and I've known Armando for 25 years. We've been friends for a long, long time. And then he dragged
Back
me
to
in.
the acting days.
Yes.
Were you doing that?
Yeah, we met doing theater.
Okay.
In Augusta.
Okay.
Which, if you ask me why I lived in Augusta in the same tone you asked about Atlanta, I would get it because Augusta's really kind of gross. That's okay. But yeah, we met doing theater in Augusta 25 years ago. I met Armando when he was 19.
Okay.
He was a baby. Yeah.
So what kind of theater were you doing?
We met doing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
That's the play we were doing. We
and
met
who
in
were
that
you?
house.
Who were you?
Billy Bibbit. Did you ever see the movie, The Stuttering Kid?
Okay.
Yeah. And Armando was, I don't remember which character he was. He was a smaller part. But he was young.
He's going to see this.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows I'm a better actor than him. So
He was just had a bit part.
We were all on stage a lot, but yeah, we met then, and we've just been pals ever since. And I told you when I lived there in Augusta, I worked for Best Lawyers in America.
Okay.
I was the managing editor of that company for several years, and I actually had hired Armando to come work for us before he moved out here to New Orleans. And then he moved out here right before Katrina.
Things for best lawyers.
Doing data entry.
The very best lawyers.
The very best lawyers in America. Yes.
In America.
Yes, 100%.
I got something recently. They're like, you can be, for $300, Justin, you can be a top lawyer, top 40 under 40 years old. I said, well, but I'm not under 40. And they're like, oh, sorry. You can be one of the top 100 lawyers in America. I was like, just like that?
Just like
that? Like my whole fucking award
That's
just changed
amazing.
I was like, why am I not top 40 over 40? And they're like, no, that's not the award we have. The award we have is top 100 lawyers in all of America.
In your specialty or just?
Fuck no. Just,
overall.
That's it. Top 100 lawyer in America.
So basically the first 100 who pay them are going to be the top 100
Well, that's
lawyers.
what they're like, hey, and if you don't pay us, like our slots are act now, or you may end up being relegated to the top 200.
Hilarious. I used to get those Who's Who notices all the time. Remember
Sure,
Who's Who in America?
Marquee Who's Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to get those all the time. And just, pay us some money. We'll put you in the book.
All of those directories, they used to be good. It used to be like, they're just all
dying
for
out
profit.
Because
all these like shyster ones come in,
Yeah.
and so what ends up happening is the whole thing just becomes.
Well, I think they were also
and
more of
watered
a print thing back in the day because it was
Yeah.
like, oh, I have this book and I'm in this book. Look, I'll put this on my shelf. There's no need for that anymore.
Right.
Directories are, it's all online. Why
Right
would
now,
pay?
you can just Google best lawyer in New Orleans,
There you go.
and then we pay someone else to make us.
and you
there.
pay Google to put you at the top of the
That's
list.
it.
Yeah.
Google has
Do a
monopolized
little
that.
SEO kung fu, and you're right there at the top.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's back in Augusta doing Best Lawyers was, and then I brought Armando in on that, and then 4 years ago I was in his wedding, and then like 4 years ago he was like, come work with us, so I did, and
now
we're doing this.
Now he's one of those traveling guys.
he's all over the place.
He's
yeah.
all over the place now. Yeah,
Yeah.
he used to come and like hang out.
He's actually going to Miami today.
They're all in Miami. All of these types.
He was in Cabo last week.
When they're not in Miami,
conference.
they're in Vegas.
I
And
know.
when they're not in
He's
Vegas,
been to Vegas
they're in
recently.
Cabo.
Yeah, he's getting to go to all the good places. I get to go to New Orleans. Not that New Orleans is
Whoa,
bad, but
whoa.
I get to go to Detroit. I get to go to Long Island, and he's going to Cabo.
He's going to Cabo,
and Miami, and
and
Vegas. Yeah.
Well, I don't go to all these conferences, and we have a lawyer here, and he's like, we should be going to these conferences, and he and I, we don't see eye to eye on this. I said, listen, I've got 2 kids. Okay, my wife works; she's a lawyer. Everyone knows. I don't need a boondoggle in Miami. I don't need.
Is that like NTIL?
Or it's like there's so many of them, right? It's every week, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's one, but there's like 7 of them,
Mardi Gras, Pilma, yeah.
And there are these lawyers that just are on the circuit, and they take pictures of themselves on Instagram, like on my way to whatever bullshit boondoggle there is. I was like, I don't like Las Vegas. I don't want to go to Las Vegas. I don't gamble. Used to represent one of the largest casino companies in the world, and for many years I did that work. And I don't gamble. I don't touch the stuff. And I don't. You know what? I don't need a boondoggle. I need like 5 fucking minutes to be left alone. That is what I want.
I like that too. I like my alone time. Are those things like? Do they count towards like continuing education? Is that the reason why? So, is it just excuse to drink and hang out?
I think it's just a boondoggle. It's just an excuse to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And you can claim they're like, oh, it's for contacts. Like contacts. Like,
I mean, there's networking for sure.
Networking with people in Tampa.
For us,
for a business
like us to go, it makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah.
But not for me. I'm B2C.
Right.
I don't need another law firm in Tampa. I need injured people in New Orleans. You're injured. You know, that's my consumer.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Your consumer. B2B is fucking easy. I watch these videos about B2B all the time, and I laugh at them. They're like, well, if you're doing this, you're doing that. And I'm thinking, everybody knows what I want.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm the ultimate consumer for B2B, right? And everybody knows anything. Google me, and you'll know exactly who I am. You can find out where I live.
Don't look up his address.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
You know,
leave him alone.
Leave me alone. I got cameras. I'm packing heat. No, I mean, you can find out where my kids go to school. You can find out what I paid for my house. You can find out about my business and then the revenue and like how many lawyers we have and what, so and then you already know, like he's a plaintiff's lawyer. What does plaintiff's lawyers need? Plaintiff's lawyers, well, they need plaintiffs. More plaintiffs.
Yeah.
They need higher profit margins. They need employees and they need help marketing.
Yep.
And you can sell them fish oil very easily. And so I just think a lot of these conferences are paid for really by the vendors that are out there.
Yeah.
And some provide some have value add. I think Leduc has a value add. We've been working together for a year and a half now. But some don't, or some are duplicative. And so I don't need to fly to Las Vegas to talk to a rep for a software company. I could sit on my ass right there
and have a Zoom call with them. Yeah,
right?
100%.
And so that's sort of my position.
Yeah, I mean,
on these.
We know a lot of lawyers who go to those conferences, and I see
just like the same ones,
the photos and the videos of when they go, and I'm like, yeah, this is just a party. I mean, it looks fun.
Sure,
but I hear you. I mean,
I think I'm just too old for that, or maybe I'm just like mentally too old for that. If I wanna go out and party, like I don't want to party with a bunch of strange
lawyers that you don't know.
In Miami. Yeah. I want to like party with my bros out here in New Orleans, or with like my college friends I never get to see, or my law school friends.
Have you heard of Mardi Gras?
I've seen it, but I don't remember what it is.
It's called Mardi Gras.
Right.
It's in San Diego.
What?
Yeah.
No.
And that's crazy. I mean, the name's great. It's a great name for an event like that. And it's apparently like I've been talking to a guy about it because we may be going as a vendor, but it's like a there's breakout sessions and speakers combined with like a music festival. So every night they have concerts, outdoor concerts.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, to put on, it's a massive event.
To go.
Yeah, well, it's all kind of enclosed into one area. It's all together, but it just sounds huge. And I mean, it's not like hundreds of thousands of people there. It's a concert. There's probably maybe 1,000 people that go. But I'm just thinking combining it as a music festival with a legal conference is just wild.
It is wild. So all right. I like to party, right? But in my 20s and in my 30s, really in my 20s, nothing would have made. I would have been on every flight everywhere. Sure. But eventually, like when you have school-aged kids, you have kids. Mm-hmm. You need some more?
No, I have 3.
You don't
2 grown, 1 not so grown.
Okay, so you already know. So like when you get to that school age, and you are a dual working family, like my wife's already like, okay, well, I have depositions in
New
York, DC, and Virginia. So she just told me this last night or this morning. I was like, wait, what? She's like, yeah, I'm going to be gone for the next 14 days. I was like, what? She was like, I told you. And I was like, you told me, but you didn't tell me like that. So like, I also can't justify. I'm like, hey, babe, I'm going to San Diego for Mardi Gras. She's like, but we just did Mardi Gras, and you were actually heavily participating in that, as I recall. It's like I had to pick your drunk ass off the ground, on Bourbon Street. So that could be cool. That's just not where I'm at in this stage of my life.
I'm the same way, man.
I was in Atlanta. There was a private concert for Ludacris, and all of my contemporaries, they're all law firm owners, right? So they're all 40s, generally 40s and 50s.
Chris?
Yeah. And everyone's like, Ludacris. And
that's our hometown guy. He's from Atlanta. So.
I didn't realize. So I didn't. I mean, I was like, I knew the name, and I afterwards was like, hey Google,
He's in the Fast and the Furious movies.
Well, and I've never seen the Fast and the Furious movies, right? And but I mean, so I was like, okay, I know some of these songs. Like I knew some of these songs, but we were just at that. Like a lot of those songs were out. Like I was kind of in law school, and so my head was down.
Sure.
And, I'm not part of his like generation, but like my contemporaries are going nuts, and I'm just like standing there in the back, like in like a suit, drinking a Chardonnay. Like So he's very famous, yes. Interesting. Everyone's like, wow.
You're just in the back going, I don't see what's so ludicrous about this.
Yeah. But I was like, that is like the ultimate, representation of like Justin Chopin. Like, that's just like not how that's not how I party.
I can't go to concerts anymore either.
I mean, I'll go to so we'll go to good concerts.
I have to go if I'm going to a concert, there has to be seating.
I don't know that if I'm going to a concert, there has to be seating. I'll state it a different way. Any concert I'm going to most likely has seating for you. It's a little nuanced. Nuance. I don't need the seating. It's just that everyone else at the audience, like Paul Simon, right? I love Paul Simon. And like when Paul Simon did his original farewell tour, my wife and I were like super jazzed. Now you're not going to a Paul Simon there's no pit at the Paul Simon concert, right?
For sure.
Right? It's not like you're not going to like in my day, we would go see like NoFX. Right, we were part of that scene, right? So no one's sitting down at NoFX, but they might not even be a thing anymore.
Mosh pit,
right? And I don't do them even then. In those days, I wasn't in a suit sipping a Chardonnay, but I was still at the back by the bar, like having a beer. I'm still not in the mosh pit, so I'm the same human. It's just I'm old now.
We got a behind the scenes little factoid for everybody. We're going to create something of you in a suit, holding a Chardonnay in the back of a concert.
In the back of a concert with Ludacris, that's going to happen.
It
won't be hard. Just do it after this and give me a glass of Chardonnay. I am perfectly secure in who I am, and I love a great European style Chardonnay.
I love the image. It's just a funny image.
Nothing California for me, but so there was seating, right? And actually, it's really funny because Paul Simon did the farewell, so he's out. He's like, guys, I'm done. I'm never going to sing again. Then they came out in the news that's like Paul Simon's gone, like lost his
voice. I don't think he can. He's deaf.
He something.
He lost his hearing.
Like
I think
one of the senses.
Yeah,
I assume he still has touch, but one of the other senses is gone. And then he comes out and he does like another farewell tour.
They never stop.
I was like, well, shit, I didn't know there was going to be another one. So I was like, well, I guess we should go. Mm-hmm. And so we're like, I tell my wife, and she's like, all right. And my deal is this: like, I don't go to a lot of concerts, but if I'm going to a concert, it's going to be for someone I really want to see.
Of course. Yeah, I'm the same way.
And if I'm going to a concert for someone I really want to see, at this stage in my life, I'm getting like the best seats in the house.
For sure.
Like, I'm not going to Taylor Swift. I'm not saying like I'm front row at Taylor Swift, but because I don't, I'm fine with listening to her on the radio or whatever. But so we're like front and center at that Paul Simon concert, like big flex, and he's like, Rhoda, and he's so old now.
He's 80s.
Crazy old, because I just saw him, and he wasn't that old, but he's old now. He's like Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons old, like where he's just...
Well, they're not propping him up like Frankie Valli.
I mean, no, but I mean, so...
Those videos are insane.
So he's like, I wrote... Because, old people, they go to church when they get old. So when you're like our age, we're like, I don't need to do that. But when you get old, that's what you do. You go to church. And so he's clearly at that like end of life stage of like going to church every day. And
did he like...
He wrote like a song, and he's like, it's 38 minutes, and it's inspired by the Psalms, and it's called like the something Psalms. And I like whisper over to my wife. I was like, oh fuck, I hope he doesn't play that. And he's like, so I'm going to play the whole thing start to finish. I'm like, son of a bitch. We could be sitting up in the balcony for this.
He's like 81 years old, farewell tour, and he played a 38-minute new song at his concert.
I was like, I
would have left.
Just play the hits.
Play Cecilia.
Don't change
what are
the
you
words
doing?
around.
Yeah, play Mrs. Robinson. We're ready to go.
That was an old David Spade joke. He's like, just play it like it's on the album, no tricks.
Yeah.
And so that was my last concert.
30 minutes of a song.
30 plus.
Did he ever get to like the hits?
Yeah, but that's like an hour-long show. And so it was like 20 minutes of so I was like, all right. So he played like 6 other songs.
Everybody's
asleep.
like
funneled out
by the time he gets done. That's
I ain't got
wild.
Another Chardonnay.
But yeah, I gotta have seats, man. Like one of my favorite bands that I don't know how I've missed them. I love Pearl Jam.
Okay.
And they came out in the mid-90s when I was in high school.
Sure. I'm part of the Pearl Jam generation.
Yeah, Gen X. We love
Right.
Pearl Jam. Yeah, but I've never seen them live. I've missed them every time they come through, and I told my wife, I was like, they're coming through Atlanta soon.
They were at
Want to
Jazz
get tickets? Were they at Jazz Fest this
year?
year?
They were at Jazz Fest. I didn't see them, obviously.
But like that's a concert though where I'm at now. It's Pearl Jam. It's going to be loud. It's going to be it's a rock and roll show. I still want seats. I don't want to stand.
Do
for 2
people
hours.
still? Would there still be a mosh pit
At a Pearl Jam show?
Pearl Jam
I would
show?
imagine so. I guess it's a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds at this point moshing instead of teenagers.
That would be weird.
I gotta have seats.
Yeah.
I'm old, man.
I listen to old people music now. Like my Bon Iver, like huge fan. Do you ever watch?
Bon Iver,
I love
yeah.
those guys. They came and did a show in front of the Superdome outside. The weather
cool.
was perfect, and it was like wind, and it was like all it had like 20,000 drummers. I've never seen so many drummers on a stage in my life. That is the most amount of drums.
Was it
I've
like
ever
a free
seen.
concert that he did, or
No, we paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we paid for it. But it was one of those. I was like, hey, if I'm going to see Bon Iver, I'm going to be like front and center.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. But
Cool.
I would go see Pearl Jam.
Oh, yeah, I love Pearl Jam.
But I'm not going to want to go see Pearl Jam in the way Pearl Jam wants me to see Pearl Jam.
Right. I think that's kind of where I'm at too.
Yeah, like I would go see some of these things, but I don't want to do it on your terms.
Right.
When why don't you just come and like do like an unplugged show?
Yeah,
at
play
like
in
a
my
bar,
living room
like,
unplugged.
come-
That'd be great.
Right. Yeah. We'll just like have a glass of scotch. And
Yeah, I want to stand. I want to stand in the back in my suit with a glass of Chardonnay,
Right.
watching Pearl Jam. That's
Do
how.
you ever see the little like reel with the Pearl Jam and the names on LinkedIn?
Yes.
I just think that's like the funniest.
The yellow
I've seen it a
Ledbetter.
1,000 times,
Yeah. It
and
never
every
gets
time I'm just watch the whole
thing.
Instagram's like, you're gonna watch the whole reel, huh? Like the whole thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch this thing like 5 times.
Every
Watch
single
this.
time.
I think it's hilarious.
It never gets old.
So
It never gets old.
all right. So so you're in New Orleans, but you're from Atlanta.
Yes.
New Orleans is better than Atlanta. We'll just.
I love
that.
coming here. It's kind of become
what do you like?
second home.
What do you like about it?
I mean, I like some of the food. I'm not a big crawfish guy.
Okay, that's fine. It's not crawfish season right now.
Well, but I mean, I've been here for crawfish season.
Sure.
And it's a lot of work for a very small amount of food
do
me.
you do crabs?
I love crabs, but
Because that's usually
I like
even
gumbo.
locals will say like I'll do crawfish because that's not a lot of work. But like a lot of people like they don't want to pick crabs.
Oh, I'll
And I grew up
tear a
picking
crab
crabs.
up.
Like I
Yeah.
love it. But like my kids can't do it. My wife can't. She's
Yeah.
from Indiana. She's like doesn't even know what to, she doesn't know what to do with it.
But I love the food. I love red beans and rice is like my absolute favorite. It's funny because when I come, I'm with Armando and the team at Leduc, and I'm like, hey, let's go out to eat. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna get some New Orleans food. Nobody wants to eat it.
No.
Because they're here all the time. So it's like, oh, cool. We're gonna go eat Mexican. Great.
Yeah.
So that's what happens usually. Or,
Yeah,
we're gonna go get Chinese food. Okay, cool, great. But the Vietnamese food is good here though.
Well, people don't realize we have a very strong Vietnamese community.
Yeah.
Do you ever go out to the east to get it?
Well, there's a Vietnamese place right across the street from our studio.
Okay.
On Veterans.
Sure.
It's called Pho Bang.
Right.
We go there for lunch all the time. Great banh mi's. The food, it's just the pho is really good. And I've had Vietnamese at a couple other places too, and I've had some Viet Cajun is what they call it, like some Viet Cajun food is kind of a mix.
Yeah,
and that stuff's really good. So yeah, I love the food. When I'm able to come with my wife. When she can come with me, then we'll stay downtown. I love staying at the Nopsey. That's like I don't know why, it's just my favorite hotel
like
in the
it.
city.
It's that way.
Yeah. It's just a really nice place.
That was fun when they opened it. We went when they had just opened it, and we all kind of went down there and we checked it out.
Yeah, it's not like right in the middle of all the hubbub. You can walk to Bourbon. You can walk to the French Quarter if you want. So yeah, it's in the CBD, but we love staying there and going to see music.
Like you go see some music.
yeah.
You go to some real restaurants.
Yeah, we go eat at the
like the good ones.
Acme and places like that. I love Felix's Oyster House. I really like that place too.
Grew up down there.
Yeah, so I like the side where they're shucking the oysters. The restaurant side's fine. I've eaten there, but like I want to go sit at the bar and.
So we were
shuck
just
and-
in Spain.
Yeah.
And these guys, he's got all these like huge Spanish oysters out there, and the sign says like they're ready to eat or something like that, some weird translation. And so I got my 7-year-old, and I was like,
I thought
we're
some photos
eating
of him
oysters.
Eating them, yeah.
And so my son's like, really? We're gonna? It's like, yes. And he's like, okay. And he's so jazzed, and it's just hilarious.
They're
And
raw?
So, Oh yeah, and the guy's like cranking them open, and they're out of the Mediterranean. They're ice cold.
I bet they were delicious.
They were the saltiest oyster I've ever had in my life. Yeah. But big, like a New Orleans oyster, not like the ones like the little guys you get in like the Pacific Northwest, or this was a meaty oyster. And all he did is pull a lemon on it and handed it to you. And so I did the first one. It was fabulous. And then I give the other one to my son, and he's like kind of excited, but like also like,
what is this?
What the fuck is this? And I was like, just put it in there.
Take it down.
But it's a big oyster for a 7-year-old. Their mouths are only so big. Mm-hmm. That oyster was bigger than his mouth. And afterwards, I kind of felt bad because I'm like, just swallow it. And I was like, well, no, don't do that. Actually, you'll just choke to death. And so I had this video of him writing. He's like, he gets it. First, he gets all the juice. And he's like, I'm thinking like
the brine and the shell.
Yeah, the brine and the shell and the lemon. And he's kind of like okay with it, but not sure. Then he's like, goes back for the oyster.
He went for it.
And he's like pulling the oyster out. Everyone's like, did he eat it? Did he eat it? And I was like, no, he's 7. No, he didn't eat it. Yeah, I was like, don't think about it. I was like, you can't hold it in your mouth because you have a raw oyster and you're like this. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
you got to take it down. Or spit it out.
Or spit it out. Like you can't just let that sit in your mouth for more than a couple of seconds.
No.
And so I was just watching him, he just didn't know what to do. And I was like, just spit it back out in the shell.
I mean, that's normal. I can't think of any 6, 7, 8-year-old who would be eating raw oysters.
I didn't eat them when I was his age.
I was in my 20s before I would eat them.
Yeah. And so my sister, like she loved them. My dad, growing up, we would always get oysters, and I always wanted to like them because they liked them. And it was fun, right? You come with crackers, you can make your own sauce and stuff like that. But I absolutely thought they were repugnant until I was probably deep 20s, possibly 30s.
When I was on the Gulf in Florida. It was in my 20s. It was really hot. I had a really cold beer, and somebody had ordered them, and I was like, I guess I'll try one. And like all that combined, I was like, what have I been doing? This is perfect.
It's the right combination.
So good. Yeah.
I mean,
so what's the rule with raw oysters that I hear?
No R.
You can't eat them in the month that ends with R. You think is that true?
Well, yeah. So your months that don't have an R.
The water's too hot?
May, June, July, and August.
Right.
That's some hot months. So if you're down here, if you're not from here, and you're like, I'm going to get some oysters in deep August, I'm going to tell you.
You're going to get sick?
No, they're
just not as good.
They're not good.
Okay.
They're like too big, and they're like milky, and they're not briny and firm.
Okay.
And
I always thought it was that you would get sick if you ate them in a month that didn't.
I don't think. Well, you could get sick if they're not kept cold. Right. So when you're telling me your story about it being hot outside and you had a beer and you're at the beach, I automatically was like, fuck that.
It was like October.
Oh, sure.
But it was we're in the
October
Gulf Coast.
Oysters. I think are my favorite because they're still a little small and you get like the little.
They were really
guys.
good. But yeah, I
don't eat oysters like right now in New Orleans. I don't even do. I think April's like pushing it
because we went to this. This is a great restaurant we went to. I can't remember the name of it. New restaurant in Atlanta. My wife and I went to a few weeks ago, and it's a seafood restaurant, and they have oysters from all over the country. And
which is pretty cool. And I love that.
And I mean, it was May.
We didn't have that.
So it didn't end in R, but I ate them and they were fantastic.
Because they're not from here anyways. I think that's fine. Those are like probably flown in every day.
I'm
like
sure
growing up here, you only had Gulf oysters.
I mean, that's why I like to eat them here because they're local. But yeah, but
I don't think our oysters are the best. I really don't. I mean,
the Gulf oysters in Florida are the ones the best that I've ever had.
You know what, man? I became a plaintiff's lawyer during BP.
Yeah.
And for 2 years, all we did was talk about the oil in the Gulf. Mm-hmm. And then magically, everybody was like, you know what? We don't need to talk about this anymore. They're like, it's gone. We're like, what? They're like, yeah, it's gone. We're like, what do you mean?
When was the BP oil spill in the Gulf? When was that?
2010.
Yeah, it was
2010. No. They just stopped talking about it. They're just like, yeah, the oil, that? Oh, no, that's all gone.
The seafood's fine to pull out of the Gulf. Yeah, that's all good.
I remember I was there. I saw that oil, and we did BP claims. So, and they're like, well, we just sprayed a dispersant on it, and then that was that. I was like, wait, that was that?
So you won't eat seafood from the Gulf? Is that what you're telling me?
Do it all the time.
Yeah.
But, but when I'm having those oysters, those like kidneys of the sea, I can't help but think like,
what's in here?
Yeah, like it was a little dispersant, a little bit.
We're eating microplastics every day.
Apparently, we're having. The new thing is microplastics are in your gum.
They're in everything.
Like the chewing gum, they say it releases millions of microplastics.
When you drink out of a plastic bottle, they say that you're getting Microplastics from the bottle. I'll tell you what I have not had in New Orleans is a snowball.
You've never had a snowball?
No. I've had shaved ice in places.
That's not the same thing.
I know. That's what I hear. I've had snow cones.
Snow cone is not the same thing.
I
Our
agree.
snowballs may be conical in shape, but they are in fact balls.
Well, we're going to get one later.
You want to get one?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
I'm going to take you to go get one. You've never had a snowball.
I've never had a New Orleans snowball, no.
So when you get a snow cone from that shithole town you live in, like what is that? Like what is that, like rainbow colored from like the ice cream man down the street?
No,
Do you have to, like, bite into it?
we have there's a place that in where I live called Kona Ice. They're trucks.
Right.
There's several of them. They're all over the city.
And what flavors?
You can get whatever. You can get pina colada. You can get one called Tiger's Blood, which is really just all sugar.
Right.
I mean, they're all sugar. It's all just syrup. But yeah,
So what kind of snow cone
do I like?
do you like?
I usually like I want something that has a little sour to it. I like a little lime, something like that. So I don't want it to be overly sweet. I need something to balance out that sweet. So it's got
strawberry. Here to me is like, that's like where you start on snowballs.
Okay.
You start, when my kids were little, we made them get wedding cake because it's clear.
There's a snowball called wedding cake?
Yeah, it's like a wedding cake, flavor.
It tastes like cake?
Yeah, well, it tastes like wedding. It has that almond sort of like wedding cake essence to it. We would always make them get that because then when they get older, because then they get older, they want like this shade of like raspberry blue.
Yeah, all kids want blue.
And they're like all blue, and there's blue, and then they're like, hold me. I was like, no. It's like uppy, and I was like, no, absolutely not. Get the fuck away from me.
Yeah,
I don't even know this kid.
Let's get a snowball.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna go get a snowball. You want to go right now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We're going to get a snowball. Thank you for joining me today on Above the Legal Limit. If you enjoyed the show and you want to hear more about business and law, hit that subscribe button. If you didn't like the show, keep it to yourself. Remember, there's no limit to what we can achieve. We will see you next week. Until then, even though we're above the legal limit, let's drive safely. Cheers, everyone.